Hey everybody, it's Chad Eddy here, and I've got another video for you. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my last video, but if you didn't see my last video on what I love most, now when I titled that, I was thinking of something specific, and that's not what I love most, like in the whole world, because that would be God and my marriage and my family, and there'd be a lot of things there. What I was talking about specifically there was what I love most about the company that Terralyn and I have found ourselves in. And I say that very specifically and very intentionally, the company that we find ourselves in, because it's not just a organization, it's not just a business, it's not just a place we work or a thing that we work with, but it's the people that we actually do life with and are rubbing shoulders with and are impacting us and inspiring us, and we're having a chance to inspire and impact in some ways too. So yeah, my last video, what I love most, is about the people, and I encourage you to go watch that one, and then you could come back and watch this one, or you could just watch this one now and go back and watch that one later. So that's cool. I actually have three more videos that I want to do, this one and then two following, based on three things that the company that we're part of, Young Living, is all about. It's wellness, purpose, and abundance. Wellness, purpose, and abundance. So in that order of things, I'm going to start out with wellness. My next video will be on purpose, and then my video after that will be on abundance. So wellness. What is wellness? So you can see from the title of this video, what is wellness? So wellness is what happens when there are no toxins and no deficiencies. All right, wellness is what happens when we have no toxins or deficiencies, and I'm going to say in these four areas. All right, so are you with me so far? When we have no toxins and no deficiencies, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So say it with me: spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So let's go with let's talk about, first of all, about spiritual health. Spiritual health. It has a lot to do with the intangible parts of who we are, the sort of the metaphysical, the airy-fairy, the not able to hold and maybe define. So it has to do with our relationship with God. And when people think spiritual, that's immediately where they go to. Oh, that's faith, that's religion, that's God, that's all that sort of stuff. And absolutely, it has to do with our faith, our religion, our relationship with God, or lack thereof. It has to do with that. But it also has to do with other intangible parts of our lives, such as relationships. Relationships are intangible. I mean, the people that we have a relationship with, hopefully, are tangible, but our relationship with them is intangible. I remember this movie a long time ago, because I'm getting up there in years, called Contact, with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey plays this priest, a strange kind of priest, kind of cool. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to comment on that any further, but and Jodie Foster is a scientist. She's like a rocket scientist, or like an astronomer of some sort. And she's really, really, really about the science and about that sort of stuff. And he's really about faith and the intangible stuff. So she's really about things that you can study and you can see and you can measure and you can define and you can test, right? And he's really about the stuff that you can't. So she says to him at one point in the movie, she says, how do you know that God is real? You can't prove to me that God is real. No matter what you try, you can't prove that God is real or that God loves me. And he turns it around. He says, well, do you love your father? And she says, there's like this backstory that her father's really, really meaningful to her and stuff like that. But she says, of course I love my father. And she's like tearing up. And she's like incensed that he would even ask this question. And he says, well, prove it. You can't prove scientifically that you love your father. So a relationship is a spiritual thing. It's not a tangible thing. Marriage, family, friends, your enemies. It's all part of your spiritual being and your spiritual health. Your finances are also part of your spiritual health. If you've ever considered it that way. I mean, money is a tangible thing. Yeah, money you can feel, you can touch, but do you pay with things for money? I mean, with money, pay for things with money? Probably not, at least not often. Maybe you'll get like something from the ice cream man or something like that with a couple of toonies. But no, you don't typically pay with money. You pay with a debit card, and it processes a transaction. The transaction itself, though, is a spiritual one, because there's trust on the part of the person that's receiving the transaction and trust on the part of the person that's giving the transaction. Well, on both parties, because both parties are receiving, let's face it. But it's a spiritual transaction that's actually occurring, and it has to do with trust, it has to do with faith, it has to do with faith in the money, the value of the money that you're giving. I mean, I could go on, but this isn't really about money. We'll talk about that another time. Money isn't just physical. Money and wealth is spiritual. So all these things are spiritual, part of your spiritual health, your relationship with God, your relationship with other people, the relationship with money. They're all they're intangible. They're part of your spiritual makeup. And people suffer poor spiritual health. So poor health in your relationships, poor health in your relationship with God, your religion, poor health in your relationship with money, quite frankly, for a number of reasons, but mostly because they pay no attention to it. They just sort of let it happen. And toxins get in there and infect and affect the way that your health is, and deficiencies get in there and infect and affect the way that your health operates in the spiritual. Okay, so let's move on to emotional. So emotional health is how we feel day to day, and it also has to do with how we treat others and how we treat ourselves. I mean, to go with religion again for a second, Jesus said that the greatest commandment in the world is in the law is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And then he said, the second greatest is to love your neighbor as yourself. A lot of us don't love ourselves very much. We don't treat ourselves very well, very kindly at all. Most people are emotionally unhealthy. I would say emotionally immature, stunted, right? Because they repeat these toxic messages to themselves over and over and over again, like nobody likes me, like I'll never get out of this hole or pattern or habit, or like I need to hide who I truly am. God hates me, or I'm not a success in life, or it just doesn't matter. They sort of throw up their hands. They're like, well, it doesn't matter. And these are messages that we tell ourselves over and over and over again that create toxins in our emotional being, and it's not good. It decreases our level of wellness. Sarcasm, cynicism. I mean, those two are related, but they're not the same. But these things are toxins to our emotional well-being. Some people suffer emotionally because of a lack or deficiency of true positive messages. Like, I'm wanted. I'm incredible. I can accomplish this. I'm gifted and skilled. People don't realize how unhealthy they are emotionally. And then they sort of blow up at somebody and they're like, whoa, where did that come from? I don't know. Well, it's because you're emotionally unhealthy and you're toxic. And then they become toxic to other people. You know what they say, hurt people hurt people. And when you're emotionally hurt and damaged and you haven't taken care of yourself emotionally, you will hurt people. And that's just what happens, and then perpetuate the hurt. So emotional health. Let's move on to let's move on to mental health. Oh, finally, one last thing on emotional health. If you find yourself suffering emotionally, the best thing you can do is smile. I know you won't feel like it. You won't feel like smiling. Why should I smile? Even those messages I said to you, like deficiency of those true positive messages, like I'm wanted, I'm incredible, I can accomplish this, and I am gifted and skilled. Those might sound extremely cheesy to you. And like, who would even say that to themselves? Like, come on. But that's because you're toxic. I mean, who would say I suck to yourself or about yourself? Who would say that? But we do. Why don't you smile instead? And why don't you say, I'm wanted, I'm loved, I'm special, I'm accomplished, I can accomplish this, I'm gifted. My volume keeps on turning down for some reason. I hope it's okay for everybody out there. Why don't we do positive? Why don't we do health building messages to ourselves instead of just health, things that are toxic, things that are toxins to us. Hey Arlene, good to see you here again. Okay, let's move on to mental health. So mental health is another whole ball of wax. And when people think about mental health, they usually think about things like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or psychosis, things like that. People think of mental health, they think of people that they used to put into institutions, right? They used to institutionalize. They think of people that talk to themselves or, you see these people on the street sometimes and you're like, oh yeah, there's probably a mental illness there. But mental health is much bigger than that, and it's much more all-encompassing than that. Have you ever experienced stress? Because stress is hey Corey, hey buddy, good to see you, man. Stress is a mental dysfunction. Believe it or not, stress, sustained long-term stress, it's going to cause problems. It's going to cause breakdown, mental breakdown. It's going to cause, and we'll get into more of this later, but it's going to affect your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health if you have too much stress. Worry and anxiety are mental health problems, and these involve deficiencies in trust and in acceptance, and they involve toxic levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Cortisol is great. It's awesome. Adrenaline, racing through us as we confront things that might scare us. The fight or flight response. It's a good thing. It's a really good thing, but it shouldn't be a way of living. It shouldn't be maintained for anything more than, a couple of minutes. So, but when we experience stress on a sustained kind of basis, which many of us do, I have, and when we experience that, it does damaging things to our mental health, damaging things to our physical, emotional, spiritual health, and it's not good. Okay, so moving on to physical health. So physical health is what we normally associate with wellness. But as we've seen, wellness is not just physical, it's spiritual, emotional, and mental as well. Physical health has to do with nutrition and fitness. It's affected by toxins that we absorb every day. We absorb toxins in our body every single day. I'm out in, the outside. I'm right beside St. Anne's Street here, which is a lot of cars that are lined up right here at a stop sign or a stoplight, and they're putting out pollutants that are getting into my lungs, getting on my skin, and affecting my mind and affecting who I am. Hey Jacob, good to see you, man. So that's just one pollutant that I'm experiencing today. This tree up here, it's probably been sprayed for bugs. And if those sprays are killing the bugs, what do you think they're doing to me? I am experiencing toxins right now as we speak, and so are you. Whether you're at home, there are toxins in your house that you are being affected by, and your body, your physical health is being affected by. So is your emotional and mental and spiritual health, but we'll get to that in a minute. The chemical sprays and cleaners and stuff that comes on in your food and the stuff that you eat. Okay, we'll get into that. So we absorb toxins every day by pollutants in our homes, in our offices, in our schools, in our cars, our outdoor environments, in the garbage that we consume, calling it food. It's not food, it's just edible. There's a difference, all right? Chemical compounds we put in our bodies, in our hair, in our clothing. Like colognes, Axe body sprays. Are you serious? Do you really think that that's healthy for your physical health? And there are thousands of other ways that we experience and we absorb toxins in our environments. But physical health is also affected by deficiencies of nutrition in our diets, as well as the health of our cells. Deficiencies of exercise will affect our physical health. It's a big contributor to physical unwellness. and you know that you're unwell, not just when something big happens, but when little things happen. When you have a headache, you know that you've experienced a toxin or a deficiency. When you have a common cold, it's a toxin or a deficiency that's been affecting your health. Cancers, I mean, that's a bigger thing. Skin issues, skin irritations are symptoms of physical unwellness. Digestive issues are symptoms of physical unwellness. So it all has to do with physical health. These 4 areas of wellness, the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, make up what I call SEMP Health. SEMP, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. SEMP Health. And the point is that they all work together. All right? So improving your physical health is going to improve your mental and emotional health. And a deficiency in your spiritual health will also pull down your emotional health. I mean, it all works together. Hey, Ben, good to see you, man. A deficiency in your spiritual health will also pull down your emotional health and your mental health and even your physical health. I mean, these all work together. Spiritual, emotional, physical, mental. SEMP Health. And so I've been sort of on this crusade for the last little while, and I've actually created a Facebook group called SEMP Health for Men. It's for guys, but you could see there's a link in the description of this video, and I encourage you to go see it and check it out and stuff. I haven't put a lot there other than like my workouts on a week-to-week basis, but I'm going to put more stuff in there. This video is going to go in there. I'm going to be putting more stuff in there and talking about it more. But my point today is that Young Living, the company that Tara Lynn and I have been part of for the last 4 years, is a wellness company. And they have products that can increase your wellness in each of these 4 areas, in all of these 4 areas. I could do a whole class on each of these 4 areas and how, and the products and the ways that Young Living can support your health by removing the deficiencies, removing the toxins, and making you a more balanced, more healthy person in overall. But just to go over a couple of things. In the area of spiritual health, a couple of products that we've found have been effective for us in helping us to build up our spiritual health are frankincense. All right, you might recognize that name from a particular story in the Bible where Jesus was born, and there were these magi. Call them kings, but they're not really kings. They're more like astrologers, wise men from the east, probably from Babylon area. And sorry, just a minute. Gotta swipe up. And they knew that there was a king coming. They saw a star, and they came bringing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense is incredible, and right now it's actually my favorite oil for diffusing or for wearing, for smelling, for ingesting, intaking, not ingesting in a I'm eating it sense, but having around while I read the Bible, while I study the Bible, while I pray. There's another oil called grounding. There's another oil called abundance, and it's great for the spiritual health. And then there's bedroom oils, because like I said, spiritual health has to do with your relationships, your marriage. There's Shutron, which is incredible. I love it. My wife loves it. It's fantastic, and it's. I mean, I wear it as a cologne, but she enjoys it. I enjoy it. It's great. There's Progessence Plus for the ladies. There's Ylang Ylang, and you might have heard of Ylang Ylang being put artificially into some shampoos and conditioners, even on the marketplace. It's not really Ylang Ylang. once you see what the real stuff is, man, that other stuff looks like cheap crap knockoff, and it is. But Ylang Ylang actual essential oil from Young Living is incredible, and gets the mood right for the bedroom. Let's just leave it there. Then there's emotional health. For emotional health, we like products like grounding. All right, it's an oil blend called grounding. There's an oil blend called Believe. There's peppermint, and I love peppermint for emotional health because peppermint has this light, airy, sort of lifting kind of essence to it. that when I put it on, or it helps me, it wakes me up, it gives me clarity and focus, but it also lifts my spirits. It's fantastic. Hey Jackie, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Release is a great emotional oil because it helps to release all those negative bad vibes. I mean, we've all got them. Do we want to hold on to those, or do we want to release them? And release helps to release them. Inner child. All of us have traumatic events from our childhood that we're holding on to to our detriment. And inner child and release help us to deal with those things, not just get over it, but deal with those things and process them and get beyond it. Okay, so that's emotional health. Mental health. Like I said before, a big mental health issue is stress. So there's an oil called Stress Away. And it honestly helps. You breathe it in and let go of the stress. And it's just incredible how the oil is attracted or goes to those parts of our brain and our soul. I mean, intangibly, yeah, but it happens. And helps to deal with those stresses so that they don't become a mental health issue. There's peace and calming. I mean, have you ever been to a cabin, in the woods, no traffic, no cell phones? I mean, that might stress you out, but that seems peaceful and calming to me. You hear water beside you, and you might see some loons or something like that off in the lake in the distance. I mean, it's peaceful and it's calming, and there's an oil that sort of captures that whole feeling, that whole sentiment, that whole essence, and it's called peace and calming, and it's great. Even in hectic times, you can put some peace and calming on and have your own peace and calming in those times. Lavender is fantastic, and I'm going to get into physical health now and talk about lavender too. So there's spiritual health, emotional health, mental health. Now I'm talking about physical health. Lavender is a fantastic oil, and you might have seen lavender in things like shampoos and all that stuff. It's not real lavender, like I said about ylang ylang. It's not actual quality stuff. It's a synthetic wannabe look-alike kind of thing that doesn't even hold a candle to the real thing. Lavender from Young Living is the Swiss Army knife of oils. And a lot of guys look at lavender, they're like, it's purple. It kind of looks girly. It kind of smells like a spa. And guys kind of whine and complain about the fact that they don't want to put on something that's girly. But lavender, man, it's badass. It's the Swiss Army knife of oils, because whether you have cuts and scrapes, right? Lavender will help with those things. If you have a headache, I can say this, if you have a headache, lavender will help you get over your headache. Lavender will take your headache away. It happens, it works. Health Canada allows me to say that because Health Canada said, yep, it does. Lavender is fantastic for a lot of things, but also for emotional, mental, and physical health. There's deep relief. I have deep relief on my legs right now because on Monday I did leg day and I overdid it, man. I just did too many squats. I'm kind of on this new exercise regimen because for a long time I was just sort of running, just doing cardio, and I got together with a guy last week, and he said, so what have you been doing to build up your upper body? I said, nothing. He said, let's work on that. So I did legs. It doesn't make sense, but he said, no, you gotta have a complete workout. So anyways, I did leg day on Wednesday, and yesterday morning I woke up, I'm like, oh, my legs are so sore. And then, but yesterday was cardio day. So he emailed me in the middle of the day and he says, so have you done your cardio yet? I said, no, man, my legs are too sore. He said, no, get on it. I'm like, dude. So I went and did 5K, and today, man, I'm paying for it. But after my arm day today, I put deep relief on my legs just to help with the soreness and the achiness in my legs. And it's great. I mean, they're still sore. They're going to still be sore, but they're not nearly as sore as they were this morning when I woke up, which is good because my family and I are going to Tinkertown today. We're going to walk around the amusement park all afternoon. So, yeah, so I'm glad that I'm glad for the deep relief today. Okay, Panaway. I also have Panaway on my legs, by the way. Panaway is great too for taking the pain away. Pan away. Ninja Red. Okay, so this isn't an oil. This is a supplement. and it's a fantastic supplement. It's made based on the wolfberries in the Ningxia province of China. And if you've had like Mona V or these other drinks, those are fine, you know. But they have nothing. They have nothing on Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is fantastic. It's a great supplement to help kickstart your morning or kickstart your workout routine or anything like that. Thieves Cleaner. Okay, so I said that physical health doesn't just have to do with exercise. It doesn't just have to do with nutrition. It also has to do with the environment that we live in. And if your environment is full of chemical compounds, what do you think is getting into you, right? So Thieves Cleaner is, I mean, okay, everything's a chemical. Yeah, I get it. But Thieves Cleaner is not synthetic. It's all natural. It's a natural cleaner which does a better job at cleaning than any synthetic crap that's out there. I mean, we used to use the Pledge and the Windex and the Mr. Clean and the toilet stuff and the this and that. Now it's all Thieves Cleaner. And our house has never been so clean. Our house has never been so healthy and toxic free. I mean, it's not completely toxic free because, I mean, we live close to a farm where they do a lot of crop spraying. So that really concerns us. But we diffuse Thieves. We have Thieves Cleaner that we use. And we use also Thieves Oil just to support our health. You know, a couple of dabs here, there, it helps. So there are lots of things and ways. Young Living is a wellness company, and they have products that help your wellness. And when we first got into this, into Young Living, Tara Lynn was kind of on this toxic free kick. I wasn't. She was like, "Oh, what kind of shampoos should we get?" I'm like, Johnson & Johnson's Tears No More or whatever crap that's called. I mean, what do you mean? What shampoo should we use? We just go down to the grocery store and we pick up the cheapest bottle. What do you mean? And she's like, no, that's not good for us or for our kids. So, sorry, I'm just swiping up. That's not good for us. That's not good for our kids. We got to have there's got to be a better way. So she started looking at like natural health products from natural stores and stuff like that, and was okay. It didn't work as well as the other stuff that I got in the stores. But when she was invited to a class on essential oils, and she found out that there's more than just these bottles of oil. There's actually products that help, you know, wash kids' hair and clean the house and all that sort of stuff. So she was really excited about it. And I was like, all right, that's fine. You know, if that's how we want to spend our money, that's okay. But as I've gotten, I mean, look at my last video and the people that I've gotten to know and surround myself with, and they have inspired me in such a way that I'm taking care of my physical health. I'm taking care of my spiritual health like I never have before. And I'm talking, this is a person who was a pastor before, and I never took care of my spiritual health while I was a pastor as much as I take care of it now. All right, with the help of Young Living essential oils and products. I'm taking care of my emotional health in a lot of ways. I mean, using the products, yeah, but I'm doing other stuff too, and I'm taking care of my mental health. All right, so I'm all about the SEMP Health, and if you're a guy, I'd love for you to join the group, and I'd love for you to become involved in the group, not just join it, because yeah, it kind of gets echoey when I'm the only one posting anything in there, but that's all right. I'll keep on doing it until somebody answers, and then, you know, we'll have a conversation or something like that. It's kind of cool. But anyways, I guess that's where this video is going to come to an end. I'm going to do another couple of videos. Like I said before, I'm going to do one on abundance and one on what's the other? Purpose. So my next one is going to be on purpose and then abundance, because that's what Young Living is about: wellness, purpose, and abundance. And I'm looking forward to doing that. I hope you are looking forward to seeing it, and we'll talk later. Bye.